right, let's look at two other titles that Jung used. He used the titles called sensing, and he used the titles called intuition. And you see the letters in parentheses? So when people want to take the shortcut way of talking, instead of saying the whole word sensing, they just say S. And the shortcut way for intuition is N. And the shortcut way for introversion was what?
I.
Yeah, and for extroversion?
E.
E. So sometimes when people say, oh, I'm an E or I prefer E, they're just taking the shortcut way instead of saying the whole long word of extroversion. Okay. So let's look at those differences with sensing and intuition. People who say that they prefer sensing as their first choice, they like things presented in order. They like those complete directions like you were talking about before, Amber. They want to know the facts so they can understand the idea that the more information they have, the easier it is for them to understand everything. They like to produce, to make things rather than just think about them and design them. They like a lot of examples because examples make it help make sense. It makes it prove a point. They like to think in order, and they like doing so they can understand. It's like if I can use it and do something with it, then it makes more sense to me. Those who prefer intuition, see the trees? They're kind of like trees, aren't they? But they're kind of a different way than what we typically look at for a tree. Because people with a preference for intuition like to look at things just a little bit different. They want to find a unique, a new way of looking at things. And they only like a few directions. Like you had said earlier when you said, well, if they don't give me a long direction, then I can do it the way I might like to do it. That's what intuitives kind of say a lot of times is, just say, go do a project, and then I can do whatever I want. But if you say, make me a sugar map, then I have to do a sugar map, and I don't get as many choices. So the intuition usually likes the fewer directions for that reason. The intuitive likes to get the main idea, but sometimes they don't have the energy to stop and listen to all the details. They say, oh, I'll learn that part later. I understand what you're saying, and they like just knowing the main part. And they like coming up with ideas and talking about new stuff to create and do, but then when they have to actually do it, it's a lot harder. So sometimes for science projects, sensing kids have said, oh, if we do this, 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 and this, we can build this. And the intuitive goes, oh, let's build this. But then when they have to do they wear out of energy. It's not as much fun for them. They like to read for the main idea. And sometimes they get such grand ideas, such wonderful ideas, but it's hard to make everything because they don't know how to make everything as well. So are you a person who likes information and starts with information and comes up with a great idea? Or are you a person who starts with a great idea and then looks for the information to make it happen? Which one of those two sounds more like you?
I think I'm an N.
And what part about N sounded right for you?
Because I kind of like to make my own type of things because it's like more creative and fun for me.
I love how you added the words fun for you. Because for somebody else it might be different, but knowing that's true for you, that's pretty cool. Go ahead, you can put a check mark there. Amber, what about you, dear?
I don't know.
You feel pulled to both of them?
Yeah.
What parts of each do you like?
I like to get lots of information, but then I like to be creative and then...
And that's true, because both types can be creative, but the person with the sensing preference says, I get my information first, and then I come up with my great idea. The intuitive says, I get this great idea, and then I get my information to make it work. So do you think you start with the great idea, or do you think you start with the information?
Information.
You like that part? What else about the two of them seem to be equally attractive for you?
Don't know.
Okay. Well, again, if you want to decide, you can decide now. If you want to put a question mark and say, I'm still thinking about that one, you can do that. What would you like?
Going to decide.
You want to decide?
Yes.
Okay. So if today, and you could change your mind tomorrow, but today, if you had to decide, are you first information and then ideas, sensing specifics and examples, or wanting to do it uniquely and differently and starting with ideas and then going to seeing it created?
I think in.
Okay, go ahead and put a check mark by it. Okay, and again, you understand you can change your mind anytime, just because our whole purpose is just to get to know each other a little bit better.